Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are going up against Jokes 311 in recommended battles. So all these Pokemon are just going to be what they recommend, and it was definitely a lot of fun. Now I don't know if I'll continue to do videos of this. I guess it depends how it's received. So let me know if you guys like this sort of content, if you want to see more recommended battles, and I definitely will be doing it. And but it's not going to be like an everyday thing. But either way, starting off with game one, we lagged a lot with the Alolan Graveler, and now it looks like he's lagging. I'm also lagging. I can't tap on the screen, and then I'm able to tap, and now he's able to tap. So I got in a bunch of free fast moves over there, it looks like. But I think he did in the beginning as well against my Alolan Graveler, because when my Alolan Graveler comes in, you'll see that it's like almost out of health. Meanwhile, you know, it didn't look like I took any damage, and that was just because I was lagging. But yeah, it did give us Golbat. He definitely won the lead because he had the Lucario lead. Right now, it's Golbat versus Melmetal, and you can see I brought back in my Graveler. It's not actually almost out of health. I was actually wrong about that, but it did take a little bit of health, and I didn't even see that health leave my Graveler. Either way, just a mess of a first game because everyone is lagging. I was actually not waiting for the switch time. I couldn't pick my Pokemon there, but then, you know, my Lapras comes in. Lapras was a Pokemon that it recommended quite often in these battles, probably because I have a lot of Lapras from the raid days, and I kept most of them, so it's just bringing different Laprases. And right now, I do have my Golbat against his Azumarill, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Poison Fang against him. We actually get off another Poison Fang, so pretty good for us, but we're not in a good situation. Hitting the Excellent, and we're going to do a good amount of damage, as I said. I do decide to shield this to block the Ice Beam because I knew I could get to another Poison Fang, but I thought he would have shielded this, but I actually don't think he does. I think he just decides to keep the shield as he does, and then he brings in his Lucario, which is going to finish off my Golbat. I bring in Lapras. Unfortunately, we're going to be hit with the power-up punch, and we survive it, but then we go down right away afterwards. So he does win that game. But as I said, it was just a bunch of lag on my end and on his end. But we do pick up 1,000 starters, so I will take that. But for the next game, he actually wins the lead again. We lead with Swallow. He leads with Frostlass, so I switch into my Haunter, doing a lot of damage to him. He brings in his Quagsire. I go for the Sludge Bomb. I did not mean to go for Sludge Bomb. I think I thought it was like Shadow Ball. I don't know what I was thinking. I meant to go for the Shadow Punch, but we go for it right now, and that will do a decent amount of damage. He does not block that one. And now we're going to go ahead and block this because I thought I could knock him out first, but I actually click on my charge move, probably because I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to knock him out before he knocked me out. So we do finish him off anyway, and now we're both down to one shield. I'm going to be knocked out immediately from that Crobat, and then I bring in my Mawile and hoping to catch the Shadow Ball from that Crobat if it had Shadow Ball, but who knows if it even did. Anyway, he goes for Avalanche, so I'm going to go ahead and block that and go for my Sky Attack to try and knock out this Frostlass. He does throw up the shield, which is totally fine, and now he'll be able to knock us out. But I wanted that to happen because now I could bring in my Mawile and finish off that Frostlass with Bite and charge up a lot of energy, enough for an Iron Head. And this Iron Head should be able to knock out Crobat. Actually, it doesn't knock it out, but then we finish it off with Bites, and we do go ahead and win this one. So we win the second recommended battle, picking up 500 dust as well. So that is always nice, and thanks for requesting these recommended battles. They were definitely a lot of fun. So for the next game, we do win the lead. He starts with Victobel. I start with my Houndoom. He switches into his Kingdra, and I'm going to pull the switch into Umbreon. He actually gets off his charge move before I'm able to get off mine, so I will go ahead and block this Blizzard. And then we could fire off our move, which I believe was a Dark Pulse, as it was. So doing a lot of damage. I was actually expecting the shield, but he decides not to block it, and we're able to finish him off with fast moves. And what comes in? It's going to be that Victobel. So we go ahead and immediately hit that Dark Pulse. That will be met with the shield for sure. Then he switches into Victobel. We actually get off another Dark Pulse. So Umbreon really hanging in there, really a tanky Pokemon in general. He's going to knock us out, and then we bring in Lapras, and unfortunately he's going to be able to get the Thunderbolts. So I do go ahead and block this one because I don't want to take a lot of damage. We're going to actually fire off an ice beam of our own, hoping to do a lot of damage to it. It does do a lot. Well, it doesn't really do a lot of damage, but it does get it close. But unfortunately, he's able to get to another Thunderbolt before we're able to knock him out. So he actually pulls the switch into Victory Bell. So nice switch on his end, and he's able to get to his Leaf Blade because he had stored energy, which will knock out Houndoom. So he does go ahead and win that game. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun. So he does go and win that one, and we're going to jump into another battle. This time we do happen to lead with Cranidos, and we actually got this quite a few times as well, this Pokemon, unfortunately, because it's really squishy and it's just not a good Pokemon. We bring in my Quillfish. I am going to go ahead and shield this. I was thinking it might be a foul play. He does bring in his Quagsire, so I'm going to hit the Aqua Tail. Do as much damage as possible. Not really doing a lot, but it's decent, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and invest both my shields into my Quillfish because I'm really not in a good position. So I'm going to hit an Aqua Tail. He is up 2 shields, so we're either going to take one or knock him out. And he does decide to throw up a last shield, so he will fire off a Stone Edge against us now, which does indeed knock out Quillfish. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Togetic, trying to knock him out with Confusion. I believe that's Confusion, and maybe it's not. I think it is, but actually I don't know, guys. Anyway, we hit Ancient Power and knock out Houndoom, and then he brings in his Alolan Dugtrio, and luckily for us, that Alolan Dugtrio only has ground moves, so Togetic, is going to be able to easily resist them because we are part flying, so we can take that Mud Bomb, and we don't have to worry about it. Maybe that's extra sensory. Maybe that's probably not Confusion. I think that's what it is. I don't even think Togetic gets Confusion, but that's okay. Anyway, we're going to be hit with more ground moves, but again, we got the luck of the draw. Togetic is able to hate it. After this game, Jokes was saying how much he hates Alolan Dugtrio, not just because of this match, but I guess in general. To be fair, I kind of agree. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate the Pokemon, but we are able to win that one, so that's definitely good for us. It looked like we were going to lose, but we actually pulled through. So for this one, we lead with Lapras, and I think this is an Ice Shard one, or actually Frost Breath, I think. Kind of hard to tell. He does lead with his Quagsire. I'm going to stay in and take this move, which happens to be a Stone Edge, doing a lot of damage to us. I'm trying to get to that Hydro Pump, and we actually do get to it. So we'll either knock him out or take a shield, both of which I'm okay with. We do take a shield. And I just decide to commit to Lapras, and he actually knocks us out, but I know he has a move ready, so I'm going to go ahead, and I actually decide to bring in my Cranidos because I knew it would knock it out or come very close to knocking it out, coming very close, but I didn't want my Lucario to take a Stone Edge. Meanwhile, we actually end up taking one anyway, so I'm going to throw up a shield to protect my Lucario, so not really looking too great, but if there's anyone that can pull us through and win a match, it's going to be Lucario, right? So he actually does have his Alolan Dugtrio again, so I was happy to see that. We're able to knock it out easily with Lucario, and then he brings in his final Pokemon, which happens to be the Raichu. This Power Punch, of course, is going to be blocked, but we did what we wanted to do, raise our attack. He'll go ahead and fire off a Brick Break, but we will definitely block it, and we actually knock it out, and we win that game. Wow, so a game I actually thought I was going to lose, but Lucario pulling through for us, so that's really nice. So next game, we lead with Cranidos. Unfortunately, he does have that Diglett again, so I'm going to switch into my Clefable, doing a lot of damage, actually. I do decide to commit my shields to Clefable. Or Wigglytuff, excuse me, it's actually Wigglytuff. He does bring in his Lucario, so I thought this was actually a pretty good matchup for me because not only do we do a lot of damage to the Dugtrio, but we're actually able to eliminate the Lucario, so looking pretty good for me, and plus I have charge moves ready to go. Unfortunately, we're out of shields, but then he brings in a second Lucario. I'm like, this is not looking good for us, so I knew his shield was coming up there, and he's going to be able to finish me off, so similar to the last game, he's able to dominate me this game because he has 2 Lucario, so really nice to get recommended to Lucario, even if one doesn't have Power Up Punch, and maybe one of his probably doesn't, but either way, all he needs are those counters, and he's going to be able to knock me out, so he does go ahead and win that one. So we're going to go ahead and jump into, I believe, the final game. I do lead with my Mawile, and he is leading with his Water Gun Lapras. So I was thinking of switching, but I decided to just try and go for the Iron Head, and we do actually get to the Iron Head, so that's good for us. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the switch right now into my Mantine. I don't block this. I was thinking it was a Surf, but it actually happens to be an Ice Beam. So he actually gets off another one. I was like, this is definitely Surf. This is not Ice Beam. And no, he actually had enough for 2 Ice Beams, so it is Ice Beam. So nicely played on his end. I do go ahead and fire off an Aerial Ace. So we're doing a decent amount of damage to him as well, but he does feint us first. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my next Pokemon, and this is a really strange game because we lag a lot in this game, or at least I do. I think he lagged as well, although I'm not 100% sure. Maybe he didn't, maybe he did. Look, we just took all that damage, and I can't do anything. You know, I'm tapping the screen, I'm doing as much as I can. We finally, I think, get one more move off and knock him out. And then just waiting to see what he brings in. It is going to be that Beedrill, so we're actually getting some moves off, and now we can't attack. I still think he had this game anyway, so I don't think the lag mattered. It might have, I don't know. But either way, it's not a big deal. Now he brings in Quagsire to knock us out. And our final Pokemon is that Drapion, and this is where it gets really strange. He hits Stone Edge, but nothing happens. So I was like, okay, I guess it's lagging. I'm not really too sure what is going on. And, yeah, and then I'm just waiting. I was about to message him saying, okay, I'm just going to back out. We'll say you won. We'll say it's a draw. It doesn't really matter, right? It's just practice anyway. It's just for fun. But then at some point, the move goes off, and then it actually doesn't go off because he gets another charge move off. So that should have knocked me out because I didn't use any shields. So yeah, he gets Stone Edge. But either way, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.